good evening, viewers, and thanks for joining us once again. Got a new build on the bench here. Some of you may have seen the Hank the Tank video from Mark Boxer, HoonTV. Well, that's what this diff's for. Had a bit of a setback with it. The actual spline on the gear set itself didn't match the yoke. It hadn't been cut properly, so we sent that gear set back, and Bursons have sent us a new one, and also one of the bearings in the actual bearing kit as well wasn't correct, so I asked them if they could get me the correct bearing, so I'm not mucking around with pinion heights, I hope. And this gear set that they've sent us, quite an extensive kit, quite good actually, comes with its own flange style yoke, bearing slinger, also a pinion nut and a pinion seal. So yeah, quite an extensive kit, that one, really good. We've got the Eaton Harrop, genuine Eaton Harrop E Locker there, so we'll go into a little bit more of that. Half the reason why I'm doing this video is just to show you guys what's involved with the fitting of the Eaton Harrop E Locker. Shouldn't be much more than literally drilling a hole in the case, hence the reason I haven't painted the cases yet. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and dummy fit everything up. I've still got to muck around and take all the crown wheel bolts and nuts off of the existing gear set, or the old gear set. Count all the teeth, make sure that they're all matching, because these are a 411. I have actually counted this one, it's 4110, so that is a 411. Once again, we'll just double check everything, make sure it's all okay before we go ahead, as I did last time, and discovered that we needed to go down the path of sending the gear set back, because it was incorrect, the cut on the spline. So once again, just that pays to double check everything, as they also tell you to double check everything in the bearing kits as well, just to make sure that everything's matching. Unfortunately, we destroyed the old one, removing it off the pinion, as generally sort of happens. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll unbox the rest of this stuff, and then I reckon I'll get some bearings pressed on and dummy everything up and work out where this wire sort of needs to go, and yeah, pretty much go from there. Alrighty, let's hook into it. Alrighty, so we've got the E Locker into the 80 series differential housing. Once again, really happy with the pattern that we've achieved. Pinion height's fantastic, backlash has come up nice. So now all we need to do is set up this this little tab or wire. We need to drill a hole in the housing for that wire to pass through. Now I will tear it all down now that we've got our dummy fit done, and we know that our pinion height's correct and everything like that. So yeah, once again, what I'll do now is I'll tear it down again and do our final fit, final assembly, which will mean we'll be putting in the crush sleeve, new pinion nut, and also the seal naturally. Yeah, once again, we'll get stuck into that and see how we go. So what I'll do is I reckon I'll set up the time lapse, because I said I'll do that for Mark, and just quickly tear this down. Nothing glamorous about tearing these things down, or any of the tools that I use. So yeah, so we'll just let's hook into it. So as you can see, yeah, we've got this all tore down, pinion out of the case, E-Locker just sitting there all ready to go. This was the nut that we used for the for all the dummy up. Once again, I'll use a brand new nut for the final assembly. So yeah, so now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and drill the 11.5 mil hole for the E-Locker wire to exit the case. So what I've done is I've plugged it all up with some towels and this, that and the other, just to stop debris and shit going everywhere. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get that all drilled out, and then what I reckon I'll do is I'll just go ahead and do the final assembly. I won't time lapse that or anything because it's a bit tedious, and once again I'm not giving away my secrets of what I do. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll get this all assembled, get it back on the old bench mule here, and then we can have a look at what we've got with the final product. Alrighty, so I'll get hooking into that. Alright, so we've got our final assembly all done. Very happy once again with how the patterns come up. Textbook both sides. You know, you got to understand this is a 9.5 inch gear set, so you know they're bigger than a 9 inch, and you know there's a lot of mass there, a lot of surface area that's touching as well. So but once again, very happy with how it's all come up. We've got the E-Locker wire in there, which as you can see protrudes through the other side, and that's what activates the E-Locker as such. So yeah, pretty, like I was saying, once again very happy with how it's all come up. So now what I'll do is try and get a coat of paint on this, because Mark would really like to pick it up, because we're basically a couple of weeks behind because of the gear set issue that we had in the first place, with the splines being wrong or not cut correctly on the spline of the pinion. So yeah, once again, very happy with how it's all come out. Very fortunate that the pinion height, shim and everything like that was correct as well when we dummied it all up. So yeah, very happy with all that once again. So I'll stop babbling on and get a coat of jam on this, and we'll have a look at it then. Okay, as you can see, we've got a coat of jam or a coat of paint on the 80 series diff here. I've sort of had it on my trolley. Very handy, these trolleys. I've had them for a few years now. I made them years ago. Shift some stuff around, dips around and so forth. So yeah, well, so what I did is basically, because we've had some cold days, I've had it under my heater, sort of warming the case up as such, or warming up the metal, and then rolling it outside, giving it a coat of paint and rolling it back in again, and yeah, just so that we can get a decent paint job on it, because I wanted to get it to Mark today so that he can get this in Hank, because yeah, we got a bit of a setback once again with the gear set. So yeah, all completed. So what I'll do is I'll get this up on the bench, and we'll have a final look-see at it. Okay, so got it on the bench here. As you can see, naturally we only use genuine parts. This is a Eaton Harrop E Locker. We've got the little wire bung through the front of the case there for all the electronics and that sort of stuff. So yeah, once again, very happy with that. Absolute textbook pattern all the way around. Everything on its textbook, all the clearances, you know, we've got 7 to 8 thou backlash, we've got 10 to 15 rotating preload on the bearings. So yeah, everything's absolute textbook. So once again, just waiting for Mark to pick this one up and get it into Hank the Tank. So what I'll do is I'll put a link up to his YouTube video on my page when he gets that all done. So yeah, once again, another one knocked off, and yeah, very happy once again with that one. So yeah, I'll just wait on Mark now to come around and pick that one up. Alrighty, that's it for this episode. once again, the 80 series diff with the E Locker, brand new gears, brand new bearings, ready to go into Hank the Tank. So yeah, stay tuned, and we'll see you all next time. Mid Coast Diff Shop.